Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of World of Warships here on your professional walkthrough channel with me, your host Max. This time, we're gonna be taking a look at Florida, the worst premium American battleship I have came across so far. I honestly don't have that many great experiences with the ship. However, somehow in this match, it was just meant to be. So, what's the problem which I have with Florida? This is a tier 7 premium battleship, which had last year an event where you were able to unlock it with special skins, and if you would have actually gone with those additional skins, the overall cost of the ship would not be like 35 euros or dollars, it would be over like 60, because you would be forced to purchase certain credits or coins in order to unlock the additional packages which were recently available for even the Italian battleships. Now, this is the problem. It's a tier 7 battleship. This means that you can end up theoretically in battle matches against even tier 9. And it's said that Florida has the hull of North Carolina. However, it looks like North Carolina received all of the armor, while Florida has received just the basic structure. I cannot find a better case of a glass cannon in this game, and literally this ship is made out of glass. You do not want your ship to be shot at in case you are in Florida. So yeah, we're gonna see basically me trying to play a bit more aggressive, which is usually really bad idea because a couple of well-aimed shots can really ruin your day. So yeah, it doesn't really matter if you are shooting salvos or if you are shooting separately. If you are going to be targeting destroyers, make sure you have HE loaded. However, you have at least 30-something second reload if you are switching the shell types in case you do not have any specific skills in order to reduce the amount of time. The one good feature about this battleship is that because you will have to play from the background, in case you get caught off guard by the enemy carrier, you have pretty damn amazing anti-aircraft capabilities. However, if you are gonna stick around in the engagements, try to make sure that the enemy is gonna be firing at your teammates and not at you. And in this match, I'm gonna have plenty of luck to actually not get shot at as much, because I have seen cases where just like 2 well-aimed shots or 2 torpedoes take out most of the enemy's HP, and here I received a couple of hits from Gneisenau and I'm already taking a ton of damage. I mean, look at it. I'm almost 10,000 points down with my health, and I keep shooting salvos at the Gneisenau and it's like I'm tickling it or something. So yeah, obviously here's the thing. Florida has this weird armament where you have 3 turrets with 4 guns in each turret. Here's the weird thing. I have found out from my personal experience, the more guns you have in each turret, the more of a dispersion you can see and the more weird shots you can experience. So for example, here we are shooting at the Emerald and I managed to land a Citadel. That one penetration shot was a Citadel. So funniest thing, however, I got already plenty of shots put into the Gneisenau and not that much of a damage. I mean, that shit can actually tank ton of damage. So yeah, but funny enough, we're gonna have some fun with the ship anyhow. The key to succeed with Florida is to make sure that the enemy is not going to be shooting at you. That is my personal experience. If you are thinking about doing brawling with Florida, you are gonna have a bad time, like, trust me. So here, because Gneisenau is still providing me with the best possible target, I'm gonna keep trying to support our battleship, which is trying to contest the A point. However, as you can see, out of 12 shells, only 3 were able to land. So yeah, I'm gonna have to start switching to some different target, because based on the penetration of the rounds, I am more effective at taking out the enemy cruisers instead of the battleships. So you can actually see that the Gneisenau only got destroyed because he got stuck against the island. If he would have managed to sneak in between the islands, he would be still in the game. So because I have now, well, less than 12 kilometers away from me, an enemy French battleship, I'm gonna start focusing my attention on that. And because we have the enemy squadrons from the Weser, I'm gonna pop in the modifier to focus most of the entire aircraft or artillery in its direction, and in a couple of seconds we get over 6,000 points of damage to the enemy squadrons and get 3 airplanes shut down. So yeah, and of course here is the proof of the concept. If you will focus the cruisers and you manage to land and guide the shells successfully far ahead, there you go. Devastating strike. Out of 12 shells, 2 managed to penetrate, and those 2 were both Citadel hits. So yeah, it's one of those weird coincidences where whatever lands actually deals a ton of damage. But getting 2 hits with a Deadeye skill on a premium battleship at this range, it's horrible. So you can see clearly that the dispersion is strong with this one, and I am switching therefore to the HE rounds because the enemy Lion or whatever is the ship is gliding away, and it would be impossible for me to keep hitting it with the AP rounds and doing sufficient damage. So hopefully the HE rounds are gonna be able to light the ship on fire, and I'm gonna be able to get some damage in and get another kill. And here is one of the biggest issues of the match. It's just started. We do not have any of the points contested, and look at it. We are trying to get A. I am at the edge of the map. Enemy destroyers are moving from C towards our carrier. Because I managed to light the battleship on fire with my rounds, I did get the second kill, but now I have to turn around and start to shoot at the destroyers, which is the worst possible targets which you can locate. If you want to play a good supporting role and with the pretty hideous range on your primary armament, trying to get into a range where you are heavily efficient or really deadly versus the enemy cruisers will also put you in crosshair of the enemy battleships, or even in some cases where you get worse matchmaker where you will be going against tier 9 cruisers, you might be actually out of range while the cruisers will start to open fire on you. So yeah, we have to somehow agree on the fact that Florida has this weird game style where you can be the one who is doing the shooting, but in case they are gonna start shooting at you, I actually got the ship after the event happened. I wanted to get some stuff for some content. Unfortunately, at the time, I was only still working with the laptop. The idea did not work out, so I got stuck with the ship, and yeah, my experience is heavily mixed, but this is the best match which I experienced with it, so that is why it's ending up on the channel, and hopefully you are gonna enjoy it, because I still cannot believe I actually managed to pull off the stuff which I managed to pull off. So I'm trying to move in with my team in order to not get somehow separated. However, because I see that everyone is trying to go for the B point, here is where I made a decision, and I start actually to turn and go towards the location where I'm shooting at the enemy destroyer, because I will start to try and get towards the C point. It's no point for us to go all together. The enemy has almost 500 points. We don't have even 400. If I'm gonna separate myself, which is extremely risky move, because if we look at the other side of the map, we see that our one destroyer is by the D point and there are at least 3 enemy battleships. So if I would get focused by 2 battleships, I would be in some trouble, because just like 6 shells and almost 10,000 points of HP are gone. So I'm gonna actually try to reach the C point, because if we contest 3 points, we are gonna be able to start acquiring more tickets, even in case if more of our teammates would get destroyed or damaged. This should help to prevent the team to acquire victory too early. So I'm gonna be moving back to the starting point, and we actually see that this side of the map around the A point is kind of a graveyard for a lot of destroyers. At least 6 of them have been killed here, so fun stuff, fun stuff. There is still that one Visby on our side who is trying to follow the enemy Nelson and the other battleships around, and he's also going to be trying to move on to the C point. So there are obviously more people who are trying to think about the score of the game, because the enemy at this point has 600 points or over 620 points, and we are barely at 420. So we definitely need to contest one of these points in order to change the outcome of the match. And because Florida is a premium ship, it has the premium multiplier, which means even if you lose, you're gonna get some decent rewards, but the multiplier is that much more effective. And especially if this is your first match where you win, where you get the boost, which can be from either 50% up to 200% at certain cases when the game gives you those rare occasions. So you are able to receive quite a lot of either experience or just credits, which will allow you to buy other ships or do whatever you need to do, like install equipment and other things on your vessels. So I'm actually effectively moving into the C point. Nobody's trying to contest me. It looks like the enemy battleships are circled around the D point. The enemy carrier seems to be hiding at C9 or somewhere around there. So they're going to be trying to focus the allies at the B point. I'm coming to the C, and this way I'm able to start contesting, and hopefully this is gonna do, as I said on multiple occasions, to offset the enemy victory. And because we are now 2 ships on the C point, we have much less time required to contest the point. And the funniest thing is that the enemy carrier actually sees us trying to contest the C point, so in order to try and help prevent us to do so, he's gonna try to go after me, where I actually pop in the modifier, and he is gonna hit me. And because he actually did hit me just like a 1 millisecond after the point was contested, the capture has gone to the destroyer, and I got only the assist, despite the fact I was the first ship on the contest point. But look at it. Enemy has lost a ship. We are moving in from the other flank, while the enemy is actually focusing our allies, who are moving in from the B point, which is advantageous for me, because this way they are not gonna focus their attention to me. So my glass cannon, literally, this ship is made out of glass. I seriously don't understand how someone can say that the hull is from North Carolina, because North Carolina can take some pummeling. But I'm gonna open up on the enemy Colorado. I'm gonna hit it with a bunch of shells. Most of them are gonna, of course, bounce off, or they're not gonna penetrate. The funniest thing is when you see that the ship gets a torpedo tube protection hit, and there are no torpedo tubes. That thing always cracked me the hell up. So yeah, the Colorado is obviously gonna try to get some better position, but because he is trying to dodge the enemy fire, he shows me the broadside, and by landing another set of shells, I actually managed to get the 4th kill of the match, which leaves only the enemy Nagato and the enemy carrier, the Vesser. And yeah, it's actually funny that despite the fact that the enemy carrier has the squadrons, or the rocket squadrons, equipped with the armor-piercing rounds, it's really not good to be using them for the battleships. It's much more efficient for you to go after the cruisers. There you can actually get citadel hits, and because we have now the last target here, which is a enemy carrier, the best way to attack a carrier is to use the HE rounds, and here is where the horrific reload speed of the Florida will be showcased. So I'm going to try to guide some of these shells ahead of the Vesser, and I'm going to try to switch my rounds in order to do more damage. So 33 seconds on a reload when switching shell types, that's pretty damn horrible. It's really not gonna give me too much chance, especially if I do this much damage. I mean, the enemy carrier is left with 2,308 HP out of 41,000 points, but luckily enough, the Vesser is behind an island. The shells from friendly battleships are unable to land, and the cruiser did not manage to aim those shots properly enough to do decent damage. And there I go, sending off the last 8 shells, which managed to find the enemy carrier, and we get our Kraken. And that leads us to the closing screen. So yeah, overall pretty damn decent reward for a premium ship. Obviously, I cannot say that I have experienced that many matches where I would end up with 5 kills when it comes to Florida, but it freaking happened finally after God knows how many attempts. So yeah, my overall experience from this ship is pretty damn mixed. If you would be interested for me to make an actual review, which I would publish on the channel, you can let me know. I'm gonna try to put it together just in case the ship is gonna be available or not. Again, in the premium store. I'm right now not sure if it even is, but let me check just for the hell of it. And it actually should be available, so yeah, it's gonna cost around like 35 and more based on your currency, so consider your options. However, make sure that you go with the long-range build, because as I mentioned it once, I'm gonna keep mentioning it over and over again, you want to be the one who does the shooting. You do not want the enemy to be shooting at you, because we get 68 hits with our primary armament, and we have dealt only 97,000 points of damage. So it's not as high as you would expect, considering other ships where if you would have hit the enemy battleships or other ships with this many rounds, the damage would be much higher. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy this fun match. It was a lot of fun to cover it on the channel. In case you want to see more fun World of Warships content, go check out the channel, link is in the description. In case you want to know what the channel is currently up to, the best way to find out is to actually be subscribed. I publish content on a weekly basis from Mondays till Fridays. I do all sorts of things, from playthroughs to discussions to comparisons to all sorts of fun stuff, so go check it out, and I'm gonna wish you a pleasant rest of the day. And in case you have any tips for Florida gameplay, let me know in the comment section. I would be more than happy to read about it. But other than that, I'm gonna wish you the pleasant rest of the day. Hopefully you are staying safe. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.